Welcome back. So over here we have our adjustment layers that we've been looking at and working with in the first 3 or 4 lessons. And you'll notice they all have this white rectangle here. This white rectangle is what we call a layer mask. And what we're going to do is start working with the layer mask to get some different effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the layer mask icon here, and you'll notice it gets surrounded by a black box. And that can be really annoying when you're starting to work with layer masks, that you can have a layer selected but not necessarily have the layer mask selected, which can be tedious. Actually, as I'm doing this, I keep selecting the layer mask, so lucky me, but it can happen. So what I'm going to do is, with my layer mask selected on the hue saturation layer, and just to remind you, this is what it looks like without the hue saturation layer on. With that selected, I am going to start painting on my layer mask with this selected with black. So I've got black selected, and someone asked, how do you get this back to black? Dennis had a very excellent shortcut for this, which is just D. So if I've got some funky color selected here and I want to get back to black, here we go, I've got some U of O colors going on here. If I want to get back to black, I just have to hit D, as in dog, on my keyboard, and it shifts it back to the default colors, haha, of black and white. And the other great shortcut for working with layer masks is X, as in X-ray vision, and X switches the black and white. So this is great for doing quick mask as well. Switches the foreground and background colors. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hue saturation layer, make sure the layer mask is selected, make sure I've got black selected over here, so D for default, and then X to switch it, so make sure I've got black up here. And then I'm going to paint a big old black circle right here. Pow. Whoa, it didn't turn it black, did it? No, it didn't. What it did, but you'll see that it put a big black circle over here on my layer mask thumbnail. And what that does is it masks out the effect of the adjustment layer. It prevents the adjustment layer from having an effect in any area that is black. So if I make another circle here, a little smaller, get the kid's face here, the effect of the layer mask is taken away. Wherever I paint with black. And then make sure you notice over here that the thumbnail, the layer mask thumbnail, is adjusted to take in all of those little black dots that I'm painting. And I could do a fill, like make a big selection here with the marquee tool, and say edit fill, use black, okay. And sure enough, we've got a big black bar over here in the adjustment layer, and it affects it like so. And I can use a fuzzy brush. I've been using a hard brush, but if I drop the hardness down here, you'll see the layer gets fuzzy. Or after the fact, I can make these circles fuzzy if I wanted to by making sure again that the layer mask thumbnail is selected over here, not just the layer. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And this will let me interactively fuzz out. You notice it's just fuzzing out the black and white layer mask, not the photo. So as I crank this up, I'm getting bits of fuzziness. You can see how it's affecting the layer mask there. If I take it back down, we're back to almost nothing. So the world is your oyster. Oh, last but not least, for this lesson, I thought I'd also point out that you can also change the opacity slider of your layer mask so to affect it more or less. That's another nice way to make further refinements and adjustments to your image. So that's how you make a basic layer mask. Oh, and to take away, like let's say I want to get rid of some of these circles here, all I have to do is hit X to flip my foreground and background colors and get white going. Or just click over here and pick a nice white. And with the brush, just the regular old-fashioned brush, just come out here and start painting with white. And I'll use a hard brush. And it just takes those right out. And my thumbnail updates to show that there are no more little black circles, just the big black circle. I want to add another circle, X to get my black back, bracket keys to make my brush smaller, and I'll just paint another black circle in there. So white takes away from the layer mask, like so. And black, X, adds to the layer mask. And then in the next video, I'll show you the funky letter layer mask trick using this basic idea. Okay.